Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm a personal trainer and the founder of Team Ignite Fitness. Our goal is to empower women and make them feel strong. I'm also a WBFF Bikini model, and today I'm going to share my story. I spent the majority of 2017 questioning my life and wondering if there was something more. I've always felt like there was something more, but at that time I didn't know what it was. I had a job that involved me working really late at night, and I also wanted to build up my PT business. I was trying to juggle both at the same time, so I was working till midnight, sometimes later, and then I was starting work again at 6 o'clock in the morning, trying to just juggle both lifestyles. Something had to give. I was so tired all the time. I didn't have any energy, my mood was low. I was also training for fitness competitions just completely the wrong way. I was eating hardly anything, thinking that the less I ate, the better I would look. I wasn't nourishing my body. I wasn't giving myself enough sleep. I didn't have time to focus, time to think, because I was so busy just trying to achieve so many different things. And I just didn't have one thing that I was focusing on. Luckily for me, that's when I met Alan and he introduced me to USANA. I've never met anyone like Alan before. I've never met anyone with that mindset and the passion and enthusiasm for helping others, which I found really infectious. I love the way that he thought about everything, and it made me more positive and more confident when I met someone that also shared the same ideas that I shared. And he gave me the inspiration that I needed to quit my job, the graveyard shift, and put 100% into my PT business. He also introduced me to the USANA business opportunity, which I could use hand in hand with my personal training business, which is the number one thing that made me quit my other job, was having that hope that there was something more. I then started on the USANA products, and straight away my energy increased. So I remember messaging Alan and asking if they fix your eyes, because I can see more clearly now. But it was just that my body was now functioning properly. It had the nutrients that it needed, so the mental fog was lifted. I had more clarity. Everything just seemed a lot brighter. I noticed that my energy improved straight away. I didn't need to have afternoon naps. Sometimes I still get tired, I'm just human, but I felt that everything in my life was just a lot better. It improved my energy, it improved my sleep, because my body was getting the right nutrients, so it was functioning properly. And I was eating better as well. That was when I started on the reset program. I did the 5-day reset to really give my body a chance to clear everything out and absorb all the nutrients that it needed and give it the best start. From there, I started training properly for my fitness competitions, because I had that solid foundation of health, that then everything that I was feeding my body was doing its job and building my muscles as they were supposed to. I had so much more energy, both physically and mentally. Everything was really clear, and I felt like I could really focus on one thing, because my body just had that nutrition that it needed for everything to work perfectly. Everything was clear for me, not just physically, which was obviously really important for my journey, but mentally as well. You have to have the right mindset, and if your body's not right, then your mind's not going to be right. So you need that focus, you need that right first. So I messaged Alan at the beginning of the year, and I was like, Alan, you need to get me back on my supplements. So I'd had a little break, I felt awful from it. So I needed to get back on it, because I'd made that decision that I was going to be a WBFF Pro by the end of the year. I was on my way to LA 3 weeks later, and I just needed to be on the right track. During my preparation for WBFF, there was a lot of ups and downs. The preparation for LA was a lot of training, maybe 2.5 to 3 hours every day, 5 days, sometimes 6 days a week. At that time, I wasn't cutting my food. I was actually eating a lot, because I was going through a bulking phase. But that involved a lot of chicken, a lot of rice, a lot of meat, and not much else. I wasn't getting enough nutrients from my vegetables, because they just weren't part of my program. Thank God I had the USANA supplements from Alan, because I don't think that I would have got through it if I didn't. I was nowhere near getting enough nutrients from food. I had a coach for my training, but the nutrition side of things I did myself. Looking back, it was not the right way to do it. I definitely needed help with that. If it wasn't for the supplements, I could have done a lot of damage to my body. And my prep now, since LA, I've learned a lot. So I had my second competition a month later in the Gold Coast, where I got myself a holistic coach that looks at everything, your nutrition, your supplementation, your training, your sleep, your mindset. She covers everything. And I worked with her to get my diet even better. My second prep was a lot easier, it was a lot more structured. I was still taking the USANA supplements. The difference was there was a couple of weeks where I was really cutting food. During that time, I was on no carbs. I was getting 30 grams of carbs a day for brain function. That was it. They were from vegetables. There was no carbs coming from anywhere else. That was for a full 8 days. And during that time, my energy was so low, I could barely function. It was really difficult, but I knew that if it wasn't for the USANA supplements, if it wasn't for the fact that I was getting all of my nutrients from food, I would not have got through it. I would have cracked. There's no way that I could have coped with it. I was so tired anyway, and it was just the supplements getting me through. The moment that you step on stage, every moment of prep goes out the window. You don't even think about it. All you think about is that walk down the stage to the judges. How can you present yourself the best way that you can? But also for me, not just present myself, like how can I motivate other people to be the best version of themselves as well? I'm stepping on that stage not just for myself, but for all the girls out there whose dream it is to be something that they don't think that they can be. For all those girls that want something that either they've been told that they can't have it or they don't believe for some reason that they're good enough, that's what that's for. So when you step on that stage, every single minute of your prep is worth it. Not just for yourself, but for other people as well. So when I was prepping for my competition, I didn't want to just get my body right inside. I wanted to look good on the outside, as we all do. And that's why I tried the C'est La Vie skincare range. I've used a lot of different skincare products before, and I have suffered before with quite spotty skin. It reacts badly to food. I've realised now that it's because I'm lactose intolerant, but I had a lot of marks on my face because I'd had so many spots before. There's like redness and blemishes. I started using the C'est La Vie skincare range 3 weeks before I went to LA, and I've noticed such a massive difference. Now, if I eat some bad foods, I'm still breaking out in spots, but I'm so much more comfortable not to wear makeup because I don't have all the marks on my face anymore from before when I used to have a lot of spots. Having my nutrition right has 100% made a difference to my skin, and also I think getting the right nutrients. Now that I've cut dairy out of my diet as well, it's 100% better, and I know exactly what causes the breakouts. Before that, I never really looked after my skin that much. I'd wash it with like soap and water or some cheap face wash, and I didn't really bother with it that much. Since I've done a structured skincare regime with C'est La Vie, the cleanser, toner, the serum, the eye cream and the moisturiser, my skin has been amazing. Like, it just looks really plump and flawless, like kind of glowy and dewy, even when I've got no makeup on. That's just a little bit about my story. My goal is to empower as many people as possible to go after their dreams, because you can do anything that you want to as long as you set your mind to it. I know that without USANA, there's no way that I would have been able to achieve half of the things that I've achieved. And if my story has inspired even just one of you to go after what you want, then I know that I've fulfilled my purpose. Thank you for listening.